A lot of people are having trouble finding staff these days, and we are too. Not that we're having trouble, we're going through the trouble. That's the reason people join us and join our organization. But we want to talk to you about what we're going through right now, how we're solving the problem, and what we can do in order to be able to make it easier for you to hire staff in your own practices.
Yep. So right now, currently, we are looking for a dental assistant, and a few of our clients are also looking for help. So I am doing, for our practice, as well as other clients' practices, trying to help them find that perfect staff member. And it seems to be that nowadays, it's a bit harder to find that help and keep that help than it ever has before. Yes.
You're having the same problem? Yes, I know you are, because we've talked with lots of you, maybe not you in particular. So let's talk about what we used to do. Remember, we used to put an ad in the newspaper. We'd pay $700, $800 for that ad. Might be 4 lines and 5 lines, and that's what we do. If anybody's trying to put an ad in the newspaper, first tip, you don't need us for this, don't use the newspaper. But what we are using is Indeed, and we have discovered through the use of the service Indeed that we've even had to refine the way in which we look for employees.
Right. So the problem that I hear most commonly from clients, or I see when I go in, is everybody has their small little core group of people that will be with you, and they'll always be with you. And it's just trying to find that help. So practices all over the country are working with smaller staff than ever. And they're making it work, which is great, but trying to get that help on. A few things. First, we have started using TempMe for a temporary agency to help us, and we've never used temp agencies ever. So we started it with some hesitation, and I will say TempMe is a phenomenal company when it comes to finding the staff member that works for your group. They rate them, so you can see the ratings, you can see what they're good in. We've used them for hygiene, and we've used them for assistant, and we've also found full-time people through TempMe that when they come, you're able to see how they work, and then we offer them full-time position. That has worked out very well for me. So I will say, first of all, that's probably my favorite go-to. Indeed, not as good as it used to be, but it still right now is really the best, because I have found that the biggest thing now is recruiter agencies, and they are so expensive. $12,000 it will cost you to get a hygiene person on board, and they only guarantee that for anywhere between 60 and 90 days. 90 days if you really ask. 60 days is like their clause in it. So if they leave after 60 days, you're out $12,000 and you don't have a staff member. So we haven't tried that. It's just a pretty big thing for us to try to swallow with that, because retention is the thing that seems to be the issue. Is they will come for the interview, maybe. They'll show up for the first day, maybe. And then somewhere along the lines, they just don't show up anymore. So it's different now than it used to be. So we have been using Indeed. What I do for Indeed is I do the paid ad. Only do the paid ads. If you're not doing paid ads, you're getting garbage.
The free stuff used to work. It doesn't work anymore. And I'm talking about only 2 or 3 years ago the free stuff through Indeed used to work. Don't even think about it now. No. Yes, you're going to have to pay. But you don't have to pay as much as I used to pay when I was advertising in Florida Today. We just don't have to.
Yeah.
One thing you have to do is keep track of the resumes that are coming in, because you can really tailor this correctly so that you can pay a minimum amount in order to be able to get good resumes in. You have the opportunity of qualifying the resumes before you actually pay for it.
You do have to have somebody who is really who can look at it every single day, a few times a day. If you're not doing that, you're going to lose money on it, because even though you do a specific ad and you have deal breakers, which I do encourage you do the deal breakers of a minimum of X amount of years in the work or having certain skills. If you don't do that, you're going to get construction workers, all kinds of people applying for the jobs, mostly to stay on unemployment. So it's just garbage to filter through. So use your deal breakers, but you have 72 hours after they have applied to decline the application. And for me, I check it a few times a day. When a good one has applied, I will try to call them immediately or text them on the portal immediately. If I don't hear back with them by the end of the day, I will cancel the application, because if they don't answer you by the end of the day, they're not going to answer you. The ones that are going to show up for the interviews are the ones that answer right away. So doing this for a few years, I'll tell you hands down that just save your money on the application fee. Depending on the state that you live in, I know here in Florida, our application fee is $23 an application. For a dental assistant in California, it's $83 an application. So it can really start to add up really, really fast. So check it a few times a day, decline it if you're not interested or if they're not responding. Print out the resume. I think that's great because you can keep them for later if you're looking later. And then do your interview over the phone. Have them come in, do your interview in the office, find out what they're looking for, and then do a working interview. You have to do a working interview because you don't know what you're dealing with until you see them in action. Have them come in for a working interview. Have your whole team be involved in talking to them, seeing how they are, making sure they're not leaning up against a wall or not really getting in and trying things. That's the one thing we always look for. But Indeed is pretty good. As long as you monitor it, it's pretty good.
Check Facebook. You'll be surprised when you find out about people that they're willing to tell everybody in the world. And I know Facebook is, people are going to Instagram now, and by all means, check the pictures, check the videos, see what they're doing, because you will find out that people are not who they appear to be, and they advertise it very well, and that's free. You can look at look through Facebook, you look through social media and find out. Now, I can't tell you how many times, including in our own practice, that we will hear from the doctors, I want an experienced employee. Experienced in what? I got to tell you, if we take a look at the people that are working in our office, more than half of the people who are working in our office right now had no dental experience before they came here. Now, that just means that we're getting qualified people. And we may hire 2 people for a single job. Get them to the point where we can evaluate them over 90 days and decide whether they're worth investing in or not, and then discard one, and I hate the word discard, but you know what I mean, and then train the other person up. And the whole idea is the training modules that we've developed. And yeah, I'm advertising the IDS a little bit, but at the same time, if you have your own training system, you can move a person through the training system and get a person on board. If you talk to a dental assistant who's gone through training, through formal training, and they get their CDA, all right, it's 1 year of CDA training. How much of that applies to your office? How much of that applies to our office? Very, very little. Essentially, if we're hiring a CDA, we have somebody that's that dedicated. And by the way, we have one right now who's been with us for many, many years, who she came in on an internship in our office, and she was doing her training, and we loved her. But still, when she got here, even though she had her CDA, we had to train her up. We trained her up ourselves. So what we're looking for from the CDA, or the Expanded Functions Dental Auxiliary, which we also have in our state, is a person who's at least dedicated enough to be a part of dentistry. Beyond that, it's training that person up in order to be able to be a good employee in our office. And I've got to tell you, if we have experienced employees, and occasionally we do get one, I understand occasionally, we're still training them up here. What they learned in another office is not the same as they do here. Now, we're periodontists. We would love to have a experienced periodontal assistant. Do we have one? Have we had one? I don't remember.
I don't think we've ever had one.
Orthodontic assistant.
Oh, yeah.
Courtney, orthodontic assistant.
Yeah.
Jennifer worked in a pedodontics office after having done a lot of other things.
That's it. The rest are people come from medical, cardio, waitresses, just all over. I'll tell you what, though, you can train skills in your office. You can train dentrix, software, assisting, forehand, aid-hand, whatever you want to do, dentistry. You can teach that. What you can't teach is willingness. You can't teach a good attitude. You can't teach the excitement. People have those innate skills and they just are excited. So that's what we look for. Are you early? Do you stay until the end? Are you a good team player? Are you quick to learn? Those are the skills that you really want to look for. Other than that, I would rather get an inexperienced person, because training an experienced person sometimes is way harder because they're set in their ways, they don't want to change, and they're not easily molded into a new position. So I would, hands down, other than hygiene, that's the only one that you have to look for the experience. Get someone who's just excited to start a career, a big girl job, they say. A lot of our girls come from, from serving. They have great customer service skills because they're working for tips. So they do wonderful, and they want a big girl job that they can say, hey, I work in a dental office. So look for those. But as for, the IDS, we do have a module that's all geared towards hiring. And it is very informative because it starts with for advertising. Then it starts with what do you do on the phone when you call them, and it starts with what do you do when they come in for the interview, and then how do you determine if they're a good fit? We go through, yes, we do a social media check. Your applicants will advertise for you what kind of person they are outside of work, and they're representing you, so do look at that. It's the been verified background check, $25 a month. I have been shocked what I see some people have been involved in when they look so innocent. These things you want to check. Who are you bringing into your practice? So there's a lot of things, and also as far as the training, starting from day one with a probation period that allows them to have all the information they need to thrive in your practice, and then at 90 days you decide if it's going to be. So I think it's a wonderful system because when you have a good person come in or a bad person come in, you only have so much time until you have to either get rid of them, replace them, and I also do love the hiring two people, not to really discard of somebody, but we have found sometimes you keep both of them and there's somebody else that needs to go because what you're doing is trying to keep your morale up, your team dynamic good and healthy.
The whole idea is to increase the value of your team to you. And you're right. We don't like to use the word discard. I can't tell you how many times, and particularly right now within our practice, where we hired one person for a particular skill and she qualifies in a different area. So it doesn't necessarily mean discard. It may be reposition. And you have your weaker members just as we have our weaker members. And so you can strengthen your team by allowing the weaker member to find another career path while you take the stronger person and move that person in. Very easy to be able to do that as long as you have your defined positions. And let's just briefly, we'll go into that. Defined positions. Each person has a post. I know people say we're cross-trained. No, we don't have we do have cross-training because we need people to temporarily fill in here. But each person has their own responsibility, own set of responsibilities, their own statistics, the way they're tracking, and the way our office manager will track in order to be able to make sure that that person is meeting the criteria. You know, you hope they're going to do it on their own, and many people will, but you know, there's something called accountability, which makes that staff member a little bit more valuable and frankly has a little bit more understanding as to what that person needs to do in order to be able to succeed in your office.
Yep. Hiring top performers is harder now than ever. If you need help with the process, if you're looking for some guidance, or even someone to help run the whole ad and get some good people into the office, the IDS is the ones that can help you with that. We do it all the time. We have been working in this practice together for 20 years now, and I think we got a pretty good system down.
We do.
We're able to help a lot of our clients, and we can help you too.
So let's talk about the different areas of the IDS. One is membership, okay? Go to directorofdentistry.com/membership. You'll have 2 months to try the IDS out and see all of what we have to offer, which is, 4 Monday morning minutes, 4 Tuesday tidbits, formal programs, one or two a month, a library of over 100 references, which go into each area, whether we're talking marketing, whether we're talking about training, whether we're talking about case presentation, whether we're talking about how to get patients to accept treatment. Every part of the dental organization, every part of the dental office is covered, and people do self-training. And it's self-training both for you as the doctor as well as for the staff member to be able to train and understand that they can be assigned modules and be able to do that. It was interesting. We just took a trip to one of our clients. It was fun. I got to surprise the client. And I walked in and everybody knew who I was. Why? Because they were using our videos for their Friday staff meetings. Yes. And so all of a sudden, somebody I'd never met before, eyes pop wide open and say, "Oh, Dr. Sheldon, wow, it's great to meet you." That's how valuable the training can be. An office can use that for each of those modules for training, not just the doctors. In fact, most of our training is for staff members in order to make it easier for you, for you, the doctor, to be able to accomplish what you need to do. So go to directorofdentistry.com/membership. You'll try the IDS for 2 months, and you'll see whether it's applicable to you. But then there are other things that are not more valuable. There are valuable, and Danielle's the one who's valuable. There are different opportunities that you have to hire Danielle. You've got talk about the different ways.
Well,
you know
first,
better than,
as a member,
than
I will
do.
say we have a new feature in there. Dr. Sheldon forgot about.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry. Yes.
New feature, we do have a private Facebook group just for your staff. And this is amazing because this takes a whole lot off your plate. So I do post every single day and I do a lesson every single week. And those lessons are how to make your schedule more productive, how to increase your statistics, which is actually their statistics, we talk about it that way, how to get more case acceptance, more new patients on your schedule, block scheduling. It's always something for them. And I say it in a way for them where it makes their job easier. It does. It raises the morale of their team, which is more fun for them. They want to come to work more often. They want to do more. They want to participate more. They want to make you proud of them. So the Facebook group is private just for members only. It's just for your team. Actually, doctors can get on there and they are on there, but it's for your team so they can participate and they not only hear me and my guidance and my advice, but our clients all over the country that are also commenting and giving their advice. So it's a great portal for your staff. But yes, we do also outside of the membership, we do consulting, we do phone consulting, we do virtual Zoom training. So you can just stay in your office and you can have me come in through Zoom, train on whatever topic you want. Maybe you're having some barriers to work through. Maybe it's productive scheduling, case acceptance, whatever it is, phone answering. We can do that in the comfort of your own practice, doing the virtual training through Zoom. I can come to your office for 2 days, my favorite, great time. I love to see the dynamic, participate in the dynamic, and that way I can sit with your team the next day and say, okay, this is what I saw, and this is what I would do. And I'm just doing that as someone that does what they do all day long. I do front desk, treatment, case presenting, assisting new patients. I do it all. So I'm just saying from my perspective, this is what I can do. This is what we would do to work smarter, not harder, make the process way more successful. And then we also have ear consulting. So whatever it is that fits you the best, we have it for you.
Now we have members of the IDS from every specialist. Yes, you know that we're a periodontal office, but we also do restorative dentistry in our office, and so we've got that. Our consulting clients are prosthodontists. We have members who are as well as periodontists. We have members who are oral surgeons. We have endodontists. We have orthodontists. So these are business principles: how to run a dental practice and how to be able to make it as effective as it can be. And for those general dentists, or if you have general dentists who are working with specialists, we love to have them there because we know general dentists who are working with specialists are going to have that same ethic level that you have, and they have the opportunity of training up as well. So if you're interested in finding out more about us, go to directorofdentistry.com. If you're ready to join us right now, 60 days free, the directorofdentistry.com/membership. We would love to have you. And by the way, we didn't say this. If you're a member, unlimited email support with both Danielle and me. And let me tell you, that may be the most valuable thing, because if you have a question, you can send us an email, and we'll answer you within 24 hours and say, here's how we'd handle it, and it works very, very well. So we hope you'll take advantage of this membership. Hope you'll be more successful in hiring new employees just as a result of this video.
Thank you.